Welcome to A Beginner's Guide. In this video we'll be introducing Battlefield 2. The series started in 2002 and is still going strong to this day. Battlefield 2, oddly enough, is the third installment in the series, after Battlefield 1942 and Vietnam, and was inspired by a mod for 1942 called Desert Combat. Battlefield 2 was released in June 2005, and it is a first-person shooter with real-time strategy elements. This marked the first time Battlefield was officially in a modern setting, and was one of the first FPSs to do so. Throughout its life, a total of 3 expansion packs were released: Special Forces, Euroforce, and Armored Fury, each with a different focus. These 3 expansions added new maps, equipment, and factions to the game, and came included in the Battlefield 2 Complete Collection. The latest patch, released in 2009, added Armored Fury and Euroforce free to all users. Battlefield 2 takes place in the early 21st century and focuses on the conflict between the United States and European Union versus China and the fictional Middle Eastern coalition. The game's plot is difficult to describe because there isn't one. There's no campaign, no narrative, and nothing is really tying the matches together. The game simply sells itself as a multiplayer shooter, so that's its only focus. While a single player mode is present, it's just a few multiplayer maps with bots. Players are split into 2 teams and battle for control of the map. The 2 factions that are available are map dependent and cannot be chosen by players. Battlefield 2 has only one mode called Conquest, where the objective is to reduce the enemy tickets to 0. Tickets are given to teams at the start of a match, the number dependent on map size. The number of tickets are shown in the top right corner of the heads-up display. Blue represents the friendly team, and red represents the enemy. Kills will reduce the enemy tickets by 1. But trying to win just by earning kills is not a very effective strategy. Instead, the best way to reduce the enemy's tickets is to capture flags. Flags are stationary, placed throughout the map, and when captured, serve as a spawn point for the team. All flags and their status can be seen in the top right corner, below the minimap. Blue is friendly, red is enemy, and gray is neutral. Flag capture progress can be seen when standing next to any flag, and will appear below the minimap. Holding the majority of the flags will cause the enemy's tickets to deplete at a steady rate. The game ends when either a team runs out of tickets, the time limit is reached, or all flags are captured and no enemy players are alive. Battlefield 2 tries to stay somewhat realistic, so weapons are wildly inaccurate unless control and precision is maintained. The best results are when aiming down sights and firing in short bursts. Firing from a stable position also increases accuracy, so crouching is better and prone is best. Being stationary will also improve the chances of hitting a target. Due to how the guns handle, time to kill is very slow in comparison to modern FPS games. The best parts of the game are when vehicles are involved, adding a new layer to the combat. They will always be the highlight of each game, being able to make or break an attack. Seeing an enemy tank will strike fear into any player, and seeing a friendly tank roll into battle is a boost of courage. However, vehicles are not invulnerable, and despite being the most empowering parts, the majority of the time will be spent fighting as a soldier, boots on the ground. Players are given multiple items for use in battle, mainly a primary, secondary, and equipment. Primaries vary, but most offer 2 fire modes and can switch between the 2 at any time. Weapons can be fully automatic, semi-automatic, or fire in 3-round bursts, though the latter is much less common. Secondaries are faction-specific sidearms, and always semi-auto. Players can have more than one piece of equipment, but they vary per class. Infantry is split into 7 classes: Assault, Special Forces, Sniper, Support, Engineer, Medic, and Anti-Tank. Each has a unique set of skills to offer. Every class has a set of equipment that is grouped together in a kit, and while individual pieces cannot be swapped for another, whole kits can be exchanged with wounded enemy or friendly soldiers in the field. This offers both a resupply and changes the class. The Assault is an all-rounder class whose main purpose is to kill the enemy troops. Given an accurate rifle, they are very adept in straight-up gunfights. Equipped with an underbarrel grenade launcher, they can fire projectiles with more accuracy and range than any hand-thrown ordnance. Also equipped with smoke grenades or flashbangs, assaults leave the enemy blind, disoriented, and vulnerable to attack. They can easily dispatch large groups of infantry and even tackle light vehicles. Adaptability and assault go hand in hand. There is nothing the assault can't do, though other classes might do it better. The Special Forces class mirrors many aspects of the assault role. It is very capable in gunfights, but lacks the launcher or smokes to employ shock tactics like the assault. Instead, Special Forces receive a silent secondary and C4 plastic explosive. This makes them ideal for covert operations, wreaking havoc behind the enemy lines. They can fill a saboteur or demolitions role, booby-trapping enemy vehicles and destroying strategic targets. Special Forces are also suited to reconnaissance and infiltration, maneuvering around the enemy, waiting for the right time to strike, firing on the enemy from an unexpected angle. The sniper needs no introduction. A good one can embody death itself, while a bad one will offer little resistance. The master of stealth and precision, the same as required from the user, as headshots are the only way to guarantee a one-shot kill. They are also the only class with a noticeable model change, donning a ghillie suit to blend in with their surroundings. Snipers are the only other class to receive a silenced pistol, allowing them to maneuver around the opposition and quickly drop unaware enemies in close quarters. Also included in their arsenal is a claymore mine, protecting their back as they pick off helpless foes. Proper positioning is crucial to success, granting the ability to strike from a distance, hidden and without warning. The support class is the backbone of the team, and is built for, well, support. While this is not appealing to many players, the support is just as important as any other class. The only class with an LMG, the support benefits from a massive magazine and offers heavy sustained fire. Though wildly inaccurate, control is needed to earn kills with the weapon, but its main purpose is suppression, keeping the enemy pinned under a hail of bullets so friendly troops can flush them out. Supports can also resupply ammo, ensuring nobody runs dry, and effectively has unlimited ammo for their LMG. No attack or defense is complete without a support in the fray. The Engineer class is built for defense, and is no means equipped for long-range gunfights. This is most evident by its starting weapon, a shotgun. Though later unlocks include SMGs, the Engineer always excels in CQB. While very capable of tearing through the opposition in close quarters, it's always best not to bite off more than they can chew. The Engineer has access to a wrench that can repair friendly vehicles, keeping them in the fight. They can also place anti-tank mines that blow up enemy vehicles that roll over top, halting the toughest of advances. Engineers cover choke points with mines, repair friendly vehicles, and finally rip through anyone who dares come too close. The Medic class offers a stark contrast to the Engineer and are vital on the front lines for the team's success. The Medic's main goal is to keep their team alive, healing the injured and reviving the wounded. Long, sustained battles are impossible without a medic in the area. Despite having no offensive equipment other than a pistol and a rifle, medics cannot be overlooked as possible threats, dispatching enemies with some good anti-healing. The shock paddles also double as a melee weapon, unleashing a surge of electricity through an oblivious opponent. The anti-tank fills another offensive role, bringing heavy ordnance to the front lines. Wielding an SMG, they are effective in close quarters, though offers more reach than the Engineer, able to tackle targets out to a medium range. The most important piece in their kit is their launcher, a guided missile for destroying enemy vehicles. They lack any other equipment such as grenades or mines, so rely on their launchers for their explosive needs. When hostile vehicles are on the move, and no time to set up a proper defense, the anti-tank will dispatch them with ease. There are a wide range of skills and specializations available, and so they can be very effective when working together. Players have the option of joining or creating a squad to enhance teamwork and cooperation. Teams can have up to 9 squads, which are named using the phonetic alphabet. Each squad is capable of holding up to 6 players. While working in smaller units, teams can divide the objective into multiple parts, and on top of the tactical advantage, living squad members also double as spawn points for the other members. Squads are coordinated by the commander, a player-controlled role where the real-time strategy elements enter the game. The commander has access to the commander screen, which allows them to see all players on the battlefield, all squads, set objectives, and call in support. Support items include UAVs to display enemies in an area, supply drops which replenish ammo and health, vehicle drops for rapid transport, and artillery strikes to clear out an area. Squad leaders can request for support, so commanders need to use their resources effectively. Battlefield 2 is a game that rewards teamwork and communication. Those that participate as a cohesive unit will find the enemy offer no resistance. This has been a quick guide on Battlefield 2, hopefully either teaching you the basics, helping you understand any future gameplay you may encounter, or generating interest. At this point, the basics of the game have been covered, and if you wish for more information on the game, though not necessarily about the gameplay, stick around for more. First and foremost, EA has dropped all support for the game. In mid-2014, EA retired many of its older titles, Battlefield 2 included. A full list can be seen in the description. The game is no longer sold brand new in stores, and the game's online component has been disabled. This seems like a crippling move for a multiplayer-centric shooter, but there are other factors that soften the blow. Copies can still be bought online through sites such as Amazon and eBay. Several new services restore the online functionality, and, being a 10-year-old game, there are plenty of mods available to tweak the single player, which we'll get to momentarily. However, playing vanilla Battlefield 2 single player, there are a few things to keep in mind. While the commander mode may seem like a good idea to call in support and manage the bots, most don't have enough skill to carry out their orders effectively. Instead, you may have a better experience playing as a squad leader, as you can ask for supplies and will be the only player to do so. This way, your team gets the resources they need without the player having to micromanage each squad. If this is your preferred playstyle, fighting and calling for support when needed, then avoid installing patch 1.5. Patch 1.5 breaks the AI commander, preventing the deployment of any supplies. The commander will still act normally, coordinating troops, setting objectives, and so on, but it will deny any request for support. Considering patch 1.5 also adds the Euroforce and Armored Fury expansions, you'll need to decide whether the pros outweigh the cons. Although, there might be other possible underhanded methods of getting the maps into Battlefield 2 without sacrificing any of its functions. Now let's talk mods. As mentioned earlier, Battlefield 2 is a 10-year-old game, and in that time a whole mass of mods have been created by its community to improve or completely overhaul the experience. From the extremes such as zombies to the subtle like weapon reworks, if you can imagine it, chances are someone already made it. Those mods can be found with a quick Google search, but if you like how BF2 plays but thought it lacked variety, then hopefully the following mods will satisfy your needs. Firstly, adding more bots. There are several mods to adjust the number of bots, but there are also simple video tutorials on how to add more yourself on YouTube. Having personally done so, the steps are quick and simple, and all you need is a text editor such as Notepad. Note that while you can technically have as many bots as you like, the maximum effective amount is 108 bots. This is the amount that will fill every squad to the brim, found by multiplying 6, the number of bots per squad, by 9, the number of squads per team, by 2, the number of teams. Any extra bots will appear in-game, but will not receive orders and so will just stand around. Now, with all these bots running around, the default maps will start to feel quite cramped. The 16-player size maps are ill-suited to this scale of conflict. Fortunately, there are mods that add the 32 and 64-player variants of the default maps. Again, a Google search will help point towards the right direction. Next comes a mod for those who like a challenge. The default AI commander is good enough, but this following mod makes the commander smarter and more aware. Void's Enhanced Strategic AI mod changes how the commander issues orders. Note this does not change how the individual bots perform, though you will notice a change in their tactics. The commander even deploys artillery strikes for their team, preventing flag capture or knocking out fortified positions. The mod may not be noticeable at first, but it's a good pick with a simple installation. And there you have it, a quick rundown of a select few mods out of a vast ocean of great modifications, each suited to a different taste. The most popular mod is definitely the Project Reality mod, which completely overhauls the mechanics of the game. Still, modified or not, Battlefield 2 is a very fun experience. Though after a decade, its age might be starting to show, but that makes it no less valuable, a true landmark in gaming history, and definitely worth a look. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.